Nathan Schaefer's joining me here on Check a Pro Radio. Chafing, heating, and cooling is good to see you. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I am living the dream. Thank you so much. Questions come into the radio show all the time, and you're my go-to HVAC guy. So I wanted to ask you some questions. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Appreciate you leaning on us as your go-to.
Absolutely. I go with the pros. The question from one of our listeners is what's the best way to maintain my furnace? That's kind of open-ended, but it is important to maintain furnaces, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. And it's one of those things that oftentimes isn't thought about. So great question. At least ways they've taken step one and they've recognized the need for it and they're reaching out and asking. So, the simplest way, there's some things that you can do yourself, obviously, like keeping the filter clean and changed on a regular basis. And that could vary by the type of filter that you have. Anywhere from a month to 6 months is common, depending on the style of filter. But there's some things you can do yourself, keeping the leaves and debris and different things away from the outdoor unit if you have a heat pump system that's running in the wintertime. But really, most importantly, to keep it simple is, for us, we like to take all of the risk and the responsibility off of our clients and put that onto our shoulders, on the professionals where it belongs. And so, doing something like we call it a VIP club membership.
Mm.
There's different levels of maintenance programs. There's the base model maintenance programs, and there's kind of the all in that can include system rejuvenations and things. But we're going to be able to go in and properly clean the coils, the heat exchanger, the blower wheel, check and make sure the ductwork's clean. There's a lot of different things that need to be done. The drain lines are clean. We're going to take and keep all that at factory fresh conditions for the client, because there's also some safety things that are involved. We want to make sure the gas pressures are good, or the electrical connections, the voltage, the amp draws, all these different things that tie into not only safety but also utility usage. And so, lots of steps that can be taken there, but the best bet is to have a professional come out and have that taken care of for them.
So it's not one of those things, we'll just run it till it breaks. That's not a
Yeah.
good idea. Now, people do that all the time with their
Oh
swimming
yeah.
pool, their car, a tractor, lawnmower. Um, it's not like plumbing. I think plumbing itself, outside of a water heater, you can kinda go until there's a leak, right? 'Cause, a little different. Even the
Yeah.
electrical system, a little different. But that's not true of mechanical things that are moving, right? I
Right.
mean, we've got flames, we've got elements, we've got blower motors, and these things need to be maintained.
100%. Yeah. And whether your system's brand new or whether it's 10, 15 years old, like at some point, you or somebody, it's an investment, spend a lot of money on that system. And so you do want to be able to protect that investment and keep it lasting as long as possible and operating as efficiently as possible. Studies show, you look at, consumer reports and different things, that an improperly maintained system, can decrease in efficiency very, very quickly. You could be potentially spending 25, 35, 45, 50% more on your utility bills just because of an improperly maintained system. And so it's really key. And I know, utility rates are on the rise, right? There's nothing we can do about that, but we can help reduce what we're paying on that by properly taking care of our systems, as well as helping them last as long as possible and protecting that investment. So yeah, absolutely. It's extremely important to do. But one of those things, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? We don't really think about it often until something breaks. Then it's really costly.
I think it's like going to the dentist. We don't like to go to the dentist, but our insurance companies, if you have dental insurance, they will pay for 2 annual cleanings, let's say every
Hmm.
6 months. That's part of what you get, and there has to be a reason why they wanna do that, and I'll tell you what it is. It's pretty obvious. If you go in every 6 months for a cleaning and a checkup, then you're less likely to need a root canal, which is more expensive for the insurance company. We're talking the same thing with these moving parts in our home, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Our happiest clients are the ones that are on that we call that VIP club membership, where we're out, twice a year and servicing and cleaning that system and keeping up those factory fresh conditions. We see them twice a year because it's a planned routine, service on the system, but they have the least amount of surprises. We see them the least when it comes to breakdowns, holidays, extreme heat, extreme cold, when the system always breaks at that perfect time, in the middle of the night or whatever. We see those customers the least. And we have thousands of customers on that program, but those are literally our happiest customers. They get the most benefits and savings. They're a VIP treatment. and their systems last the longest. And now they get to make those choices typically of when to replace them or when to do enhancements and upgrades on their time, instead of when the system tells them it's time. It's much more planned out that way and less reactive.
And what's nice is they don't have to lay in a chair with a bright light in their face with their mouth open. They don't have to do anything, right? You
Right.
do all
Yeah.
the work.
Way better than going to the dentist.
They could be sitting on the couch and, enjoying themselves while you and your team are doing that maintenance, which is so important. You don't wanna have your HVAC system, heating and air conditioning system, go down on the coldest day and the hottest day, on the weekends, on holidays. It's less likely to
Right.
go down if it's maintained properly, even if it's an old system.
Yeah. 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. As always, Nathan, thank you for joining me today on the program. I appreciate your expertise.
Hey, anytime. Happy to help. Thanks for having me.